Correct. Yeah. Hello, Mr. Ben Ugoke. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm all
Yeah,
right. Thank you.
yeah. Uh, Hello, my people. My name is Chinedu Anichi, your one and only celebrity CSO and the African voice in diaspora. Today, we have a very important personality, a philanthropist, an evangelist, an ambassador of repute, and a politician, an engineer, and a UK-based I don't know, scientist, very, very important innovator of new ideas that will carry the world to the next destination, communication wise. So today, let me have the privilege to welcome the show, Dr. Engineer Ben Ugoke. How are you doing?
I'm all right.
We
I'm all
talk, how
right.
are you doing? How's UK, sir?
UK is doing quite all right. We're doing
Yeah.
fine. Very fine. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I apologize that this our show is just being streamed only on two stations because of some logistic problem. But it's on Facebook, it's on YouTube, and later we can now transfer it to other um, sections. But it's just on these two for now. So, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. Thank you very much for the privilege. My pleasure.
I want to use this opportunity also to thank you for the support. When we started in this show, when people never believed it would come like you were there, you gave us shout out, you gave us moral, financial, and all supports. So today you see what it has graduated to, and thank God you are now part of what's going on here. So I really want to welcome you, Ben, to be in this very important show. So for I know a lot of people know you, but for protocol purposes, for the sake of this platform, please introduce yourself to our audience before we move on.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My name is Ben Ugoke. I'm into technology, research, and invention. That's my pride. I'm glad to be here on this platform with Inedo and TV.
Yeah, Mr. Ben Ugoke, you are wonderful, and you are part of this whatever we're doing here. And oh, this is very clear. You can see it on Facebook, very very sharp. So I'm going to send this to your WhatsApp now, Ben, for you to shoot to your share to your friends. And
All right.
this link, I have to. Oh my God, the link is not coming with the picture. I don't know why it's not coming with the picture, but let me do something now. Do something really quick. Mhm. So let me do something really quick. I inserted the picture. It is already there. I've
Okay.
sent it. I've sent it on your WhatsApp.
To my WhatsApp. Okay. Okay.
Mm.
I'm gonna uh
Yeah.
share that.
So you can share. So Oh, my people. So today we'll be having Dr. Ben Ugoke on the show. And today we'll be treating a very important topic, the type we have never heard before. So, but you know, when innovations are starting, it has this kind of nature. So, when the man who discovered electricity thought about it, when somebody said, I saw a metal fly like bird. Nobody knew we're coming up with an aeroplane. So years after he made that kind of, so I think Ben is coming with something very, very unique and very, very scientifically possible and new that will um, transcend whatever we have now and navigate us to a point where people can really communicate seamlessly without a lot of carriage of this and that and that. So the little thing I have listened to you shows that, come on, I don't know where you are taking us to, but you are here today. so,
Yeah.
so Mr. Ben, please tell us, tell us this innovation that have been bothering you that you think that will take the world to a higher level.
All right. Thank you very much once again. Uh, this is going to be mind blowing and a privilege also to me and also to our listeners. This is going to be the first time somebody will be hearing this. I know the nostalgia or the feeling that comes with this kind of announcement. People will have thousands of questions, but it is common. It is normal. So it's you. In fact, it's going to be mind blowing. And then, what are we talking about? Um, I have looked into the future, and I've looked into the future in the next 20 years, in the next 30 years, in the next 50 years. There are so many things that we are using currently that we are not going to use them in the next 20 years, even in the next 10 years, in the next 30 years. We're not going to use those things. If I should take your mind back, there were things, even common things that we have today, some of those things weren't in existence in the past years. So there were, ideas that people came up with. And today it became something that we cannot do without, just like a mobile phone. I was born and I grew up in a time where we knew nothing about mobile phone. So mobile phone came, we saw it, it came, and now it's as if we cannot live without a mobile phone. Or it's something that weren't in existence before. So this is something that is we are working on, and I am glad and I can say boldly that I am leading this global project. I'm also calling, partners, all innovative technological move. I mean, innovative, partners, any part of the world that will understand what I'm about to say. They are free to contact me so we can move ahead with this. So this is a project. In my own description, I call it MCC, Mind Communication Chip. And in a simple terms, it's like mind to mind communication. It has never been done or created by anyone. Elon Musk is doing something we call neuron link. That's it is a chip or a device that helps to communicate what is in one's mind and then translate it into an audible device so people could hear what the person is saying. But this idea I'm coming up with is not the same. This idea I'm coming up with is going to eradicate mobile phones and it's going to eradicate human communication devices that we use. This is going to bridge the gap of communication issues. Human being can stay in the United States of America and in his mind and speak to somebody in South Africa who is in the comfort of his room and without even opening his mouth to speak. You don't have to open your mouth to speak. Whatever message that you have designed in your mind, you could just deliver it to whoever that you want to talk to if the person is going to have the chip. So this is the design. It's going to be an implant. When we finish designing this chip, very micro chip, it's going to be an implant that will be well. I wouldn't want to go ahead without saying this. Whatever scientific discoveries or inventions has to go through the global regulatory bodies. So the world and global leaders will look into it and they will approve what we are talking about. So it's not as if that I've already started doing it so that I can start implementing it. No, that would be against the law, the global regulations. So then, back to the point. So this chip, after we have finished creating this chip, it's going to be an implant. It will be implanted into human body, human bodies. Let me take, for example, we have over uh, a billion. Let me say, if we have over a billion people on the planet Earth, and each person is implanted with that chip. And the implant is something that is going to be scary. People hearing the implant is going to be something that will be without any side effect. That will also support your blood cells functions and your body immune systems that will not affect anything in your body. It won't have effects in your body systems. It will be a perfect design that will support body system functions. I give you an example. This part of my hand, this place called thinner web space. Thinner web space. This point is highly sensitive to the brain. In fact, people, if you have headache right now, and if you spend few time rubbing, massaging this place for the next 5 to 10 minutes, you will sense an instant relief of headache. It shows how sensitive this point is sending information to the brain. So imagine the implant is done in this point at this place. We just implant that chip here and then seal it up. It's going to be adaptive with your body, and you won't even feel that something is there. What this done is that anybody who has this chip, the same chip implant in his body, there is what I call a peculiar, a specific code, a specific code. Just like you have your phone number, no one else has the same phone number that you are using. Because if two persons having the same number, it will be that will be to be jamming. So just I'm just using that as an example. You have that number, a specific number that can never be tampered with. That is what I call a linking code number that you have. So if you can share your linking code, this linking code is specially designed in a way that it can be connected with your brain. Once you accept it in your brain, a mind this is a mental activity. It's not something that you operate. It's a mental activity connected to your brain. So once you give out that your special code to whoever that will accept it and connect it, there will be a reaction in your body that tells you that something has taken place. That there's a connection, there is a link. Once that is done, you don't have to pick up a phone and call that person. You just have to, like, for example, I'm coming to see you tomorrow, and For example, Mr. Francis, I'm coming to see you tomorrow. If you are connected to Mr. Francis, what you have said, he has already gotten it. So this chip also functions both like a kind of a message, a live call, communication. Just like you are talking to somebody that is sitting beside just beside you. That's how it functions. And you hear it audibly, mind communication. So mind to mind discussion. So that's how it functions. So you can also you have the power to even disconnect. If you have connected to so many people and you choose to disconnect from everybody, you can disconnect it. So this is going to help with the speedy communication. And because the control device, what I call, is going to be out of the earth, its own space. So there is no way in the world that you will not access communication. There is no way on earth that you cannot access communication. You know, Elon Musk is operating what we call Starlink. Starlink. That Starlink, you know, anybody who has access to that Starlink, you don't have anything like network issues. No, because it's operating out of it. So what we're talking about is a global project. It's a global project. So it's a global project. So the world global leaders will invest in this. It's going to be a collective global investment for communication because communication is very important. Communication is very important. So for communication, and in that case, in fact, we will have what I call an easy way to reach out to people. So once you choose to disconnect your stuff, you can disconnect from anybody. So if you want to have a presentation, you want to talk to people, an audience, you have about 5,000 people in a room or in a big hall or in a stadium or something like that. What you just do is just to call out your linking code. Yeah. Once that linking code is mentioned, everybody in that stadium, you don't need microphone, you don't need speakers, and it's going to solve the problem of noise pollution. You will witness global silence. So people will not be making noise, shouting. So it is going to give birth to so many things. You will just speak, and everybody will hear you. Everyone will hear you, even without your audible voice being heard. So I understand the challenges or the questions people may have, but this is something that by the time it start happening, you will be like, why are we not living? Why are we not doing it all this way? Just like we say now, why can't what I mean, what how have you been living without mobile phones? So that's how this is gonna be. So it's on project. There will still be an amendment and adjustment, and a lot of things can still come on. But this is what we are working on. We are coming up with this massive project, and we are looking is going to be a solution to the global communication challenges. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Ben, for this wonderful, innovative explanation. For us who are far from a very empirical process of scientific, discovery, and we listen to you, we heard the languages you're using, and that is how innovation starts. So the layman will always be hearing it as just an empty voice, but but for you who conceived it, already is done. You know, the first step of innovation is to conceive it in the mind. So for you to be able to conceive the possibility of anything, even the Christian Bible says, as a man thinketh in himself, so he is.
So
So nothing is impossible unto God. Luke 137. So at a time in this life, nobody knew that something, a metal, can carry 2,000 people and fly from here to UK and drop them and come back. Nobody knew it is going to happen. Nobody knew that somebody can travel out of the earth and go to other planets and stay for 1 year. So these guys that were stranded just came back the other day.
yeah,
You know what it means?
yeah,
Stranded in this space for long and still came back successfully and landed back to earth. So
yeah.
these are things you will naturally not believe before, you know. So, but today is going on. So, impossibility is not in the book of science.
Mm,
No, impossibility is not in the book of science. So I really
yeah.
believe you. But the wonderful thing, the impression I have is that for conceiving it in your mind alone, for me, it is already done. For me, it's done. So, thank you, Ben, for coming. And for those of you who are watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, though, if you have any question, you can ask. Let me see the chat. Let me see if anybody is commenting. Okay, I've not seen anybody reacting. But what I'm saying is, for those of you who are watching, so you know that this thing is not in my main page. I don't know what is wrong, and I'm trying to share it. Ben, how
Yeah,
do you share
yeah.
something?
I've just yeah. Well, I can see a sharing um link on the top of that where it's written live and studio. So I've seen a sharing. So I just click it now, and I've shared it again on my uh Facebook channel. So
Okay.
it's on top of the this thing. So where it's written live and studio. So I've seen.
Yes, yes, yeah. So I want to hear from some people, but before then, I want to ask you some questions from our desk. So, what inspired you to conceive this idea?
Well, that's a very good question. Thank you very much for that question. Well, I got inspired for my interest for looking at the contemporary society, the world, the changing world. Everything is changing. So when I watch it, how things are changing, changing, whether they are changing for good or changing for bad. So I've also seen the ones changing for bad. A lot of things. I don't want to mention some of them so that people who are in that aspect will not feel offended. So I now thought within myself, in this changing world, what will be beneficiary, what will benefit, what change can benefit humanity in this changing world. So because everything is changing. So I started thinking and I thinking. I then realized that communication is a key, one of the major and important aspects of life. Communication, easy communication. If something is happening, how do you send information? If there is something, a danger somewhere, how do you let people know what's going on? So I started thinking in that direction and in line with my job and some of the things we do in my job in the technology, a lot of advanced technology, manufacturing of PCBs and some other design that we are doing in the modern world. So when I finish doing that job and I can see what that particular job we've done is doing, I say we can do more than that. So I got inspired by the changing world. So, and that is exactly what happened. And I believe that communication is the key. So, and if something happens positive in communication sector, global communication sector, that will help humanity. That's how my inspiration was generated.
Wow, that's great. That's a great one. First of all, it's not egocentric. First of all, it's not a selfish idea. So,
Yeah,
since it is for the, there's something people don't know. When
mm,
you start chasing money, money will run away from you. But when
correct.
you render services to humanity, when you create values, both money, both respect, both fame, all those things that people look for,
Mm,
we naturally begin to look for you.
yeah,
So the underlying principle of this your what you have conceived and proposing to the world is selflessness and service to humanity.
mm,
And anything that has that kind of underlying principle will succeed. So I am very impressed that the main purpose why you conceive that idea is to serve humanity, and
mm.
God will bless you.
Amen.
So, but I know that you see when things like this are coming, Ben, I know you're a positive thinker who will try to navigate across obstacles. But for those of us who are watching you, as you conceive the success of this thing in years, what are those challenges you think can militate against its early arrival? Because surely it will arrive, but its early arrival. So, what do you think will be the challenging, you know, aspects of it or factors?
Yeah, okay. Well, in as much as we are talking about the challenges, which I know what could be the challenges, I'm also looking at uh, the positivity aspect of the earlier announcement, which for me, because we have a particular country in this world. I don't want to mention the name of that country. They are very good in stealing ideas. They have never invented anything. So all they do is when an idea is conceived, they will steal that idea. And most of the ideas that are stealing are ideas that are not popular, something that has not been announced. So they will just use whatever in intelligence they have to get that information, and they will steal the idea, and then the whole world is looking at them as a powerful country, but they are not, because all they are doing is they are using other people's initiatives, and they are cooking it and they're doing it. But but the problem is that if they do it, they may not get the result. They may not do it in a way that who conceived that idea, has designed the idea to be. So, but to answer the question directly, so that I can just put it in a perfect perspective, the challenge of this early announcement is going to be number one. It's going to be envy in the science world. That is this envy of other people who are searching for the same thing. Yes, some of them who have integrity will not embark on trying to execute this project, but they will be like, oh, why hasn't he been a black man, or this person is the one who is coming up with this idea? We are going to frustrate this idea. So because they know that before such this kind of idea comes into implementation or full execution, there would be a promulgation or an act or a global regulatory bodies that will look into it and then see how it affects humanity and all that. So it can't just happen. We have to go through the global technology regulations. So they will start working to see how they can frustrate this idea in coming into fulfillment, because it did not come from them. So that is the challenge. But I am not worried about it, because the reason is that someone has to come up with something. And the beauty of social media is that once you come up with something, you register it on the internet, it stays there. So whoever that is coming up with that, you will know that if you type on the Google about it, Google will tell you that somebody has already mentioned and stated that. So the years and the date and the time and everything is going to be the justification. Because as we have discussed this thing today, it will be on the social media. In fact, it will be on the internet, and all the searching engines, we have this on the record: the time, the date, and the year. So any other ideas, if somebody want to steal this idea and you're coming up with that idea, so if we try to figure out when you initiate this idea, we will always find out that somebody has already mentioned this before your own. So that is the advantage. That is the advantage. So people try to avoid it, coming up with something that somebody else is working on. So, and again, and again, this particular idea, this particular idea or innovation or invention that we are discussing has never been mentioned. If you search mind to mind device or chip, you will never find it anywhere. So, what the internet will tell you is that this is hypothesis. is theoretical. That means it's fiction. No one has ever come up with it to say we can actually do this. So it's the first time somebody in this part of the world is saying we can actually do this, and that will be saved in the database on all parts of the internet for record and reference purposes. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Ben. Thank you, Dr. Ben, for this your wonderful um, explanation. That's a great one, Ben. But I am also thinking of some other challenges. I'm
Okay.
not even thinking about the envy and the competitive spirit that exists. It is everywhere. So even in our media sector where we belong, so it is just there. You understand? So there's nothing that concerns humanity that you will not see competition. So we're not disencouraged or afraid to see that. But what I'm thinking that might be from my own perspective, because you as there are certain things you can see, there are certain things those of us who are spectators can also see. They say spectators are the best players. you know
Always.
so
Always.
from my own point, I think the most challenging thing is going to be doubt, inability of our people to conceive it, to accept it that is possible. A lot of people will doubt, no, what, how can, how can. That is how many scientific, innovations and discoveries were doubted. How can? How possible? Some of them were taken to be mad people.
Mhm.
You understand? So
Yeah.
some of the scientists that discovered things like Einstein's and other great men, so they were taken to be men that have something wrong mentally. Because when people are talking of right, they are talking about left. So I think, have you ever thought in that line of the higher percentage of the population? The world is 8 point something billion people, and maybe you see a lot of people start doubting, how is it possible?
Yeah. Yes, you are correct. 100% correct. Yeah. Doubt is gonna be. In fact, it's yes, it's expected. In fact, that was the first thing I even mentioned it when I started. That people are going to this mind blowing. So they're going to be how can I mean this is not possible. Like we can't. I mean we can't be thinking about that. So, but the way out is due to the emergence of AI. You can see that AI is reshaping the global perspective. I mean, mindset about technology. What technology can offer to the world. So AI has taken is almost taken over the world, and and then very soon we will even say that AI machines can perform operation, surgical operation in a human body, and take out whatever that is not supposed to be there and fix it perfectly. So AI can deliver babies. AI can do also, you know, these are the way out. What I see as an advantage. Otherwise, the doubt people is going to have is going to be mind blowing. And you can't blame them because they are entitled to have those doubts. They will say, "How possible can this be? How possible can this happen?" So it's just normal, and we have to understand that. It's something that is part of human reaction. So, and it's going to happen. And we're not going to be like, oh, surprised. Why are they doubting? Yeah, yeah, there will be doubt. So, but we will have to come up with a stronger conviction, a stronger convincing methodology approach to the people so we can get them to key in and align with the position.
Yeah, thank you, Ben, for also for taking cognizance of my own suggestion, and
Good.
yeah, to be part of, because those of us who are far, those of us who don't have this your tech, those who are not tech savvy, those who are not scientifically conscious and groomed. Things appear to be very, very, always thinking these things are very impossible. But those of you who have been in the system, seeing what you have been able to manufacture already, just like you gave example, seeing what AI is already doing, we know that in the very near future, AI will be performing wonders. And it's going to
mm,
take almost 90% of human jobs. So just like Bill Gates predicted, that a lot of human jobs will be taken over by AI. You
mm.
understand? So
Yeah.
you already see people don't look for photographers anymore. Just take your old picture, you know, put it in the phone, just get one AI, AI will change it, wear you another clothes, dress you on suit, change, you understand all these things. So
Yeah.
AI is already doing a lot of things. So that's good, Ben. So moving on, I would like you to tell us, are you going to do this alone or you have a team, not just your internal secular team, or will you be open for collaboration from other scientists who can bring in, their own to add to what you know? Or you just want to, you and your team alone to make sure you pursue it to a very, the concluded, part?
All right. Yeah. Thank you for that question. Very important. Very good question. Yeah. We looking to having people who are, I mean, scientists, and then from any part of the world, because this is going to be a global major project. And then I'm not selfish about it at all. I have some friends, like minds, who we are looking into that, and then we are working to see how we can come about with that and with all the procedures required. So, but I'm also open to accepting, calling on all scientists, anybody who are who is moved by technology or innovation to contact us, to contact me. I'm open to working with anybody from any part of the world. So because the more the merrier. So if we are more people in this, despite who is leading the project, it doesn't matter who is leading the project. But but my joy is that this project has been conceived, and my greatest joy is that I'm going to be alive to see this project in execution, being in use, people using it, and seeing how it's working for the interest of the people. That will be my greatest joy. So I'm open to accepting anybody from any part of the world who is interested to be part of this project so we can get it done. Remember, I said that it's going to be a long process because that is a strict regulation. You can't come up with any technology project and you think you can just get it done. No, the global leaders, the world leaders are going to say, no, we don't need it because they are taking the safety, global safety of whatever you're coming up with. There are many ideas people have come up with, but it didn't scale through because those ideas do not go through the threshold of the global safety. So, and they were trashed down and said, no, we don't need this for now because we are not sure if this will guarantee humanity safety. So that is it. So, but I have looked into this particular idea. I've looked into it. I've looked at it from different perspective, and I'm not seeing where or how this could be a threat to humanity in any form. It will not. The only threat I think that may come up with a kind of a picture, a similar picture that I may paint is for those who are Christians, some of us who are Christians, and some of our people who are Christians and probably have not been, you know, privileged to exposure, and then they, because of religious faith as Christians, who believe that there will be a time where 666 will be implanted on human hands or human body, and that will be a mark of the beast, and to mark who are going to hell and all of that. That nonsense. So this is going to be the major problem that might come from that side. So I know that one is a big challenge. So, but the exposure, knowledge, enlightenment is moving like speed. Everybody's getting enlightened. So people are embracing knowledge. And then that is a hope to me that, oh, look, though we may have that problem, but I don't think it's going to stop this world, our global project. So that's what I want to say about that. Thank you.
Ben, religious, let me say, religious antics and some
Yeah,
of the things coming from doctrinal, implications in our life is a very big factor.
yeah,
Because just like you said, when people begin to talk about impacting one thing or the other as mark of the beast and CCC and all
yeah,
this, you understand? So,
yeah.
so when you think of the chip that is going to be on human body, that's the first thing that will challenge you.
I know that.
They will say maybe the devil is about using brain Oguke. So, or, well,
No, they should know that it's coming from a pastor. They,
yeah.
I'm a
Anyway, it's not
pastor.
that anybody can be used. So the best person that should be
Yeah,
used
right.
to attack the church should be the pastor. It's not
Yeah, yeah, I got it. I got it.
if it is coming from a non-believer, everybody will be
Yeah,
agile to say no. But if it's coming
yeah,
from a pastor, some people will consider maybe anointing is part of this.
yeah. I got it.
Yeah, that's good, Ben, and that's wonderful. So I also think of, let me say, where you're coming from, the political part of it. First of all, you're a black man. You understand the political part of it, because these things you're saying about there are regulatory bodies, there are these, there are these. Some of these people are very sectional oriented, and knowing that you are coming from a brown color, a black color, an African, a Nigerian, um, don't you think where you're coming from could be a very major um, obstacle to easy easier access for the approval of the regulatory body? Because I remember when one doctor in Nigeria said he discovered a drug for HIV. Ever before people came up with this thing, that it has something that will um, delay the virus and bring it down. This regulatory body also clamped on the man, but he had evidence and people who were hit by the. But because the regulatory body as such did not approve it, but today people the same thing he said he discovered, people have discovered it. People are now parading some kind of drugs and management of HIV today. But it was conclusively said that time as an axiom that it has nothing we can do about it. But because it's coming from a Nigerian, then the regulatory body did not, they frowned at the innovation at that early stage. So what do you think about your own, and what do you think, and how do you think you can navigate across this?
Well, that was also in consideration. I also have that in my mind. But like I said earlier, I'm open to negotiation, and I'm open to whatever deal anybody may come up with if that is favorable enough. But if that becomes a problem, if that, I don't think it's going to be a problem because as at the moment I'm in a foreign land, a foreign country, and then all we've been doing where I am currently and the kind of job we're doing, I don't think I've witnessed a kind of a limitation, as so to say, that could be a serious problem or impediment for me achieving whatever. But if that
No, no,
becomes a
no. Hold
yeah,
on, Ben. Hold on,
yeah,
Ben. Let me tell you the difference. The
yeah,
difference is that you are working now on other people's,
job, yeah,
innovations.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
when
yeah,
it originates from you, I don't think that the attitude will be the same. I'm not
yeah,
speaking.
you,
I'm not trying to create an obstacle,
yeah,
but
yeah, I
we need to
understand.
be. We need to appeal to reality.
Yeah,
Even though it will not be stopped, I believe it will not be stopped
yeah,
because of the kind of mindset you have and the kind of personality you are, and you know how to politicize some issues. You know
mm.
how to negotiate. So, and that will be possible for you. It will help for you to navigate. But what we are saying is what you are doing now, being in a foreign land and working on other people's innovation, will not be like when this wonderful idea you are thinking of
I
now,
got it. Yeah,
great
I got it.
creative scientific innovation, is originating from you.
Yeah, if I'm being frustrated by the global leaders, I believe there will be a country. Every country is sovereign. Is sovereign. Every country is sovereign. I believe there will be a country that will give me permission. That will give me permission out of the 168 countries we have in the globe. I believe in the world. I believe there will be a country that will like to know what I'm doing. And if any country accept my project, I will go into that country and I will encrypt my projects. I will encrypt it, the IP. Nobody will be able. I know the component that I'm going to use to produce this. In fact, one beauty thing about this project is that even if you want to go and do it, you have not done the research on that to be able to come up with are what are the components are you going to use to produce this. I have the component. I have all the necessary. Let me use the common language, like if you are cooking food, the condiments that are required for making this standard chip. So, and I will encrypt it in a way that nobody will access it. And then that country will become a country of that project. Any world, any country that want it, they will sell it to that country, and they will. So it's in fact it's fine. It's a competition. So I know there will be gang up, but you see, this is the problem I keep saying that we Africans, we have suffered enough in this earth. We have suffered enough in the world. Africans are always the smartest. We have got this smart brain. We see things before they happen. We conceive powerful ideas that can change the world. But we are being restricted because we're coming from a country where we have bad leaders who are not interested. I read an article that I am convinced that the Europe economic boom and infrastructure development, the 60% of the funding came from Africa. I'm sorry to say it, but that is the fact. Now, the same Europe, African children are coming to Europe, but the development of that Europe, the sources came from Africa. So why can't our leaders learn? Look at what is happening in Burkina Faso. The man who is doing great job is being attempted to be killed, assassination on several occasions, 18 assassination on his life because he said, I want to make my country look like a Europe-like country. So they want to kill him. So that is the problem we have in Africa. And my question is, when are we going to stop this? When Africa going to rise to say we need to build, we have all the resources. Nigeria mineral resources is worth more than what Saudi Arabia, Dubai is. Nigerian resources is bigger than Dubai. But what the difference is just leaders. Up to this moment, the mineral resources in Nigeria is bigger than what Dubai has. But what are we where we are today? So if this will cause global chaos for good chaos, that you are being rejected because he's a black man, and then we don't want it because he's a black man, even though the idea is good. Well, it's fine. I'm sure that any country that will embrace this and partner with us, then that country will be one of the powerful economic, powerful country in the world. So it's up to the global leaders to decide whether they're going to frustrate us or they're going to give us a soft landing for us to execute this powerful project that will transform the global communication.
Okay, we pray
Sorry
that
again. Sorry to cut you. So, do you know, last year, I told some people, I said to them that in the next 15, 20 years to come, or it may be more, or 50 years to come, or 60 years to come, you see, the transportation system will even change. People, you will see people will start using air movement, individual air movement, not even aircraft. From your house, you just wear the gadget, come out of the front of your house, and pump the stuff and move and jump off, move off from there. There will be air trafficking. Move off, move off from there and land wherever you want to say. If I want to come to your house, I don't need to drive. I'll just pump my stuff and move. And the gadget will have sensors that will solve the issue of collision. Maybe somebody that's coming together, jamming somebody on the. So, no, there will be sensors that will push you away from me so that we will not crash. So, that is one of the another. So, but when I checked and I've seen that somebody is coming up with that project, I dropped it. That was last year. I dropped it. It's on internet. Somebody's coming up with that project. Even though the person is estimating the project will be in the next 60 years, but I've emailed that person. I said, Thompson, you don't have to wait for the next 60 years. This is something that should be done in the next 10 years. I have my own project I'm working on. So, and your own seems to be something that can easily be achieved than even my own.
people already are people already flying.
Yeah, people, but even though what people are using is something, it's still a kind of an object that you have to go inside then for you to fly. But what I'm talking about is like just wear your normal shoes and clothes, and then you hold two stick in your hands, put your helmet and everything, your eyeglass and everything, pop it within your body. It's not going to be a complication. It's as if you are flying. Bam, you fly. Just another just so the world is changing, and our children, we will see things when we begin to tell them how when we are born the kind of things that we are in existence, they will taught us the same with the children that we're going to have and our own children. So the world is changing. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. That's good. That's good, Ben. Yeah. So I think it's wonderful, and this is a great evening for those who are listening. Those of you who are listening on Facebook, those on Instagram, I don't know where you. No, the Instagram is not working, but we'll connect to you later. We're going to restream this live video again in all platforms so that everybody will see. Because I don't know what's going on. I tried to share it on the main page, and it's not going on the main page. Well, it's on the profile. So, but what I'm saying, Ben, is you have answered articulately, but reality facing us is that anything coming from Africa will be challenged.
Mm,
Challenged. Any other thing can be challenged, but that of Africa will be challenged more because we're talking from data, we're talking from statistics, things that have come from Africa that have been challenged and negatively challenged anyway. So
yeah.
um, we pray that things will be better for this innovation, and we also because there's something how God navigates people to victory. When no other person is able to come up with something, you cannot but accept it.
Mm,
So that is how God wants to introduce people. But I believe in what I read. Something I read about somebody said that Goliath was not there to destroy David.
mm,
Goliath was there to announce David.
mm,
David was great in the bush. killing lions and deers and all that. But nobody knew about him. So he needed somebody to bring what he has been doing to limelight. So
mm,
sometimes challenges are meant to announce you.
mm,
So so sometimes troubles are meant to relocate you. You see, sometimes God change you from a comfort zone, create a crisis for you. I'm a living
mm.
example. Create crisis for you to change from where you are. And when
Yeah,
you change from where you can, you now begin to see the real purpose of God in your life. Even though you are saying, "Hey, I don't what has happened to me is doing me like," so you at a time you begin to hear. It's like God knows about this. So you understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
So no matter whatever challenges that will come, I know that God will help you to navigate, and the challenge will help
amen.
to spread the news and let other people know that this is coming from here. At least for record purposes, no other person has thought in that has that line of thought for a long
Yeah,
time. So is on record.
yeah,
Yeah, let anyway, you have come here and we can always use the opportunity and ask you one or two things apart from your scientific issues because we are privileged to have you. We don't have you every time. So
yeah,
because you're
yeah.
here today, so let's ask you one or two things. There are things I know you react on very important issues in Nigeria. And okay, the most recent one I want to ask you is Nigeria sending delegates for the burial of the Pope. A lot of Nigerians are saying that. What is that? What is the meaning of that? Is that what does that how does that help Nigerians? So what is your own personal view of Nigerians constituting a committee? I don't know, maybe because they saw P2B. P2B was there like 4 days before the time with Cardinal Riz. They say, okay, let us also, you know how Nigerians, when they see that you are doing this, they say, this guy is going too far. Let us also do the same thing. That could be the my own opinion, anyway, allegedly. But what do you think about sending the Senate President, Akpabio, and others to go for represent Nigeria for the funeral of Pope Francis?
Right. You know what happens when an incompetent person is in charge. It's just the same, when you have an illegality in the system, which will beget more illegality. People who have lost focus, people who don't even know what they are doing, who don't know what they I mean, I doubt if those people understand their basic responsibilities. They don't. I don't think they do. So you can't expect anything more than what they are doing. What they are doing is exactly what is expected from people who have lost focus. So and then it's not that you're asking these questions. I've actually said I'm not going to be. I don't want to be commenting on the issues about Nigeria because they are heartaching, like irritating to talk about. Irritating. Where are you going to start? I mean, because the country and the leaders have come to a point that you know if they do something good, I will be surprised that these people have done something. How come? That is when I will talk. I will ask questions. I'm like, why are they performing these wonders? Because they are not used to doing that. So people sending people delegates. I mean, of the common thing that we're going to be asking ourselves is how is that going to be a positive, going to bring a positive outcome to the country? But I don't want to stress on that so much because, like I said, I don't expect anything wonderful, great, positive from these people. I don't expect anything from them. Nigerian leaders, I don't expect anything from them. So I will only be shocked when I see the Nigerian leaders doing an amazing job. I will like, No. How come? That's what I'm going to talk. Like I said earlier. So that is just it. That is just it. That was a post I made last week. No, a few days ago. I posted it when I advised. I just made an advice. I said, this is my advice for Nigerian political parties, opposition parties. I advise them. And then I think that is what I can do, my own contribution, when I say to them that these P2B that are imitating, when they see him take a decision, or I mean, take action, you see Nigeria as if Nigeria government are coming in after he takes a step. They're trying to like do whatever the guy is doing. You see, I said that PDP should just bring that guy and give him a ticket so that APC will have a serious challenge. So that post I made it 3 days ago, and that was what I said. I will just do it, and I will keep my eyes off from Nigeria because I'm not expecting any positive thing about Nigeria. So that's in summary, that issue of sending delegates is just that they want to do what P2B, because I think the guy was there. I've seen a picture where he was there taking pictures. Oh, and they go, oh, this man has gone there. See, so these people are ridiculous. Are ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how to describe them, but that's just it. So I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed, actually. I'm not. I would be disappointed if it has happened otherwise. Otherwise, I'm not.
Okay, okay, Mr. Ben, that's wonderful. Thank you for answering. And a few things that happened that we have been missing in this show because we know when we have few things happening, um we try and talk to you. See, have you heard recently that there's an appointment of um, um, uh, um, what they call the diaspora desk officer for Suka local government chairman?
Well, to be honest, I think I read something like that, but
Yeah,
I,
yeah,
I did not read it in detail, so I don't have full information about that report.
yeah. Let me say something officially. Let me read from my stuff. Okay, that's the Reverend Mike Maswell Madabuchugu, diaspora desk officer
Okay.
for Nsukka local government. Is based in South Africa.
Oh,
So that's an appointment made by Nsukka local government chairman recently. What do you think about such an appointment, Ben?
well, I think you are just bringing me out. I've been trying to lie low with this
You know that when you come
speaker.
here, I would like to ask you questions because
Yeah,
you are a very
yeah,
resource person.
yeah. I've been trying to stay, just to lie low about this Suka local government chairman. What is his name? Asogwa. I called him when the news broke out that he is the chairman. I spoke with him and I told him congratulations. But when I start seeing things happening, I decided to keep up. I think the young man doesn't understand the job he's there or he's doing. He doesn't understand it. Sometimes I assume maybe he sees himself as a president or a governor or you see, it all started when there was a report that he was making an appointment for people who will manage crisis in the market, and he was appointing a bishop of the Catholic Church, bishop to be a chairman of a market crisis resolution committee, to be a chairperson. And I remember I made a comment in one of the social media posts. I said, why appointing a bishop for that kind of miniaturized? I mean, that's an infinitesimal position. You don't read the code office of the bishop is papacy. That's the episcopacy you are talking about. Bishop is equal to governor on the state. So you don't bring him down to that level. It shows arrogance. It shows somebody who is, full of pride and all that. So why I mean, this guy, apart from that, he's just useless. I mean, he's doing nothing. I can't say anything. What is it that you are buying jam form for? I can do that. I can buy jam form for 1,000 people if I choose to. Mm, I can say, okay, I don't want to do some of the things I'm doing for 1 month, and I'll be able to get that done. So, what has he been done? What is the project, his scorecard at the moment? All he is doing is just seeing himself as one of the emperors there in Nsukka, fighting everywhere. And he's not even consolidating on the job, consolidating on the job that that the predecessor left for him. So I think I see him as a man who lost his focus. I'm not going to miss word. I'm just saying it. He does not understand. Somebody needs to sit him down and advise him, coach him on the job of a chairman. You were once an administrator, so you understand the job more than him. So you know that what he's doing is inappropriate. He needs to be advised. He needs to be advised. He doesn't know what he's doing. All the money that is dropping into the local government every month, I see nowhere where that money is going into. He sees himself as an emperor. He's locking up people. There was a man I had that he put in prison for what? So all this is doing is this. I mean, somebody need to talk to him. I rang him. I think about last 2 weeks ago. I mean, no, last month. Sorry, last month on WhatsApp. He was lucky, but he didn't pick his phone. I called him to tell him that I think you are failing. That's why I was calling him. He didn't pick his call. I called him once, and I was very angry that day when I learned that there was a young man. He put the young man in prison. I was going to say, go and release that guy because you shouldn't do that with your position. You were nobody. This is the very man who was fighting us. This is the reason why I used to say to people that I don't know what even our governor is doing. You can't bring people who I don't know. See, don't bring out. I can say a lot, but I don't want to. I want to be careful with my statement because there's a lot in my mind. And once I am triggered this way, I will vomit everything. So people should know what is going on. Nsukka politics is dead. We have no leader at the moment, as I'm talking to you right now. We don't stake. Nobody. You can't even rely on any of this because the leader, the chairman himself, he can't boast of anything. Let me tell you. Let me shock you. If there would be election in Enugu State today, I don't with the way this young man is going, if they don't rig that election, the PDP will not win anything. Because there is nothing, no consolidation. All stakeholders are not carried along. He is acting as an emperor. He's acting like somebody who doesn't want an advice. He's just thinking that he's a king that is governing a particular place. He's just I don't know, but I don't want to talk so much about this. I'm really, I'm pissed off with his with that young man. I'm really pissed off with him, honestly.
Okay, so that's all right, Ben. But from my own point, so is there so there are nothing you have seen that he has done that looks fine. He was in my show. And I asked him question. It's just that the system today, I would have brought out some of because I can go back and bring out some things that have gone. So I would have played it. He said how he told us how he established vigilante, how he has empowered a lot of people, how is So it is about this diaspora desk officer that appointment that made me to throw his question to you because um, I asked the guy, what is your work? You know, because the guy is planning to come to my show. But I asked him, what is your job, first of all, your job description? He said he's trying to bring in Soka local government people in diaspora globally to be under one umbrella and to be participating in what is going on in Soka. Don't you think it's a good idea?
Well, let me just tell you this. In the functioning of the governance or government of Nigeria, we have exclusive list, we have concurrent, and we have residual, which is paramount to the local government. So I'm looking and checking the activity, the powers of a local government to transcend within the out of the local government to have access to appointing somebody who will have a relation with an international activity without passing through the state. That is a minor. It does not happen. So if you want to do something like that, it's going to be based on unofficial. It's unofficial. A local government chairman has no power to appoint an international relation. He cannot speak with any high commission or commissioner out without the involvement of the state government. So what are we talking about? He has no power to make such appointment. You can't just like
Wow.
him coming up to say, I'm appointing a representative to be addressing issues in Abuja. I mean, with the federal government, he does not have. I mean, that appointment does not exist. So he should maybe call one of his friends and say, "Can you help me out of official discussions? Help me organize people from Unsuka and all that." So, but coming to make it an official pronouncement or whatever, that is where he is missing it, and he should be very careful. He should be very careful trading in that path because it could be dangerous for him. It could be dangerous for him. It could be dangerous for him.
Wow.
I'm sorry to I was
I've never seen it in that dimension, if not now that you're talking about it.
yeah.
So he hasn't the jurisdiction. He hasn't the
No,
power.
he doesn't have it. No, he doesn't have it. It's not stated in any function of the local government. It's not. You can go through the act of local government. He doesn't have that power to make such appointment. He doesn't have it. So and he should be careful because he has missed a lot of ways. He has missed a lot of steps. He has taken wrong steps. I had wanted to take legal action against him until I got an appeal. And that appeal is an appeal that I cannot say no to. And because I am believing that maybe he is acting out of ignorance, that he is going to learn. So immediately he was sworn in, he started taking out project, spending money. You don't do that without appropriation. Without appropriation, he was doing that. That is an impeachable offense. It is against the law. So if he is taken to court or EFCC investigating him on that act, he will find himself in a bigger mess, and that could cost him his job. When I looked at all these things, and I can do it. I know how to. I have the contact to take a move. So when that appeal came and all that, so I slowed that down and I dropped that, hoping that it's going to change. So, but the step he's still taking doesn't speak like somebody who is changing. I don't think he's changing. He's making more and more horrible and terrible mistakes every now and then.
And there's this very costly statement you made now that I want you to clarify.
Yeah.
For you to say that Nsukka has no leadership now. So what do you mean by that? Political leadership. Is it in Nsukka zone you're talking about or Nsukka local government?
When I'm referring to the Enugu North Senatorial Zone and also starting from Nsukka, and let me start from Nsukka. Who is the political leader in Nsukka local government? Is it the chairman? I don't think so. You are from Nsukka. Who is the political leader in Nsukka local government today? And how viable is that person? Not just viable. How prominent is that political leader? There is a leader in Nsukka, and there will be stakeholder meeting, and they will make a pronouncement, and some people are countering it. Say, we didn't say this, so we're not aware of that. So, I mean, no one is leading. We have no political leader in Nsukka. The chairman, I don't even know whether he is aware that some of his stakeholders don't even believe in him. If he's looking, I don't even know whether he wants to go back to second term, which I don't think he's going to go back to second term. I'm not wishing him bad, but his leadership, whatever he's leading, whatever leadership he thinks he's leading, has a lot of lacuna. He needs a professional to advise him, to sit him down and coach him this job, because I don't think he understands this job. I'll give an instance, sorry. If he understands that job, that meeting that was held in Nsukka local government, and where is that place called? Where they discussed and talked about endorsement. That meeting was not supposed to be held in Nsukka, in that place. So because these people are, I don't know who is advising them. That meeting is supposed to be held in Ifan Ugwuanyi's house. It's not just in Nsukka. This is Enugu North, senatorial zone. So I'm not if I in fact I'm because Nsukka seems to be the mother, the leader of the others local government within that senatorial zone.
Okay.
If you don't recognize who should be the political leader of Enugu North senatorial zone, what kind of leader are you? Who are you leading? You claim that you are leading Nsukka as the local government chairman, and you don't even recognize who's your political leader in the Enugu North senatorial zone. You're acting like an emperor. That meeting should have held in Ifan Ugwuanyi's house.
Okay, Ben, this brings me to a very, very serious question. Is it PDP political, like Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi now, is it PDP political leader or political leader of the entire zone?
Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi is the political leader of the entire zone. It's not the party.
So what in which status is that achieved? Like for you to, is it because he was former governor and no other person has become governor? Does it automatically give him the position, or is there any other criteria for arriving at that? I want to know because I
Yeah,
don't know about.
being a former governor is part of it. When you look at Nkano, even before the emergence of Peter Mba, both the PDP, all the parties, who is the political leader of Nkano? Chimaroke. So when he comes out, every other person follows, whether you are from party A, party B. So if anybody haven't been a former governor, is the leader, political leader, all political activities in Enugu North senatorial zone. In fact, I can share with you a conversation I had with one of the leaders in opposition in Nsukka. I don't want to mention the name. He discussed with me an opposition party. He was telling me how they have gone to Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi and said, "You are our leader, despite that we may be from different parties,
Jesus.
and we respect this position that you are our leader. You are the leader of this zone. So whatever we do, yes, we know where you belong, but we respect the fact. If this party is going to pay this courtesy and this respect, so and the so-called PDP and the chairman who are just there pumping they are buying different properties everywhere, they are not able to recognize this man as their political leader and then move behind him. I want you will understand. I mean, you must agree with me is that if you present yourself as a leaderless movement, organization, or a group, or even any whatever you are, if you have no formidable leader, nobody is going to respect you. And this is the reason why Nsukka is not being respected. Nsukka is not being respected because they don't want to accept a leader. They don't want to respect their leader. They don't want to respect their leader. So that's why they are not being respected.
I think Ben, we could. I just remembered I have an appointment now in the next 2 minutes.
All right, no
So,
problem.
thank you,
I
dear Ben.
thank
You
you
are
so
so
much for
great.
the
You
privilege.
see, it will be good for us to be coming to this show. We can
Yeah.
do a lot, you know.
Yeah,
You can see
yeah.
what is happening. So thank you, Ben. I will modify some of these things and make sure that it goes viral.
No problem. I appreciate it.
The setup was not properly done to connect others, but I'll do it remotely, you know, after. So I would like to end the show now. Thank you, people, for watching. This is Dr. Ben Ugoke from UK on a new scientific communication innovation that will render phones useless, valueless,
Correct.
and
Correct.
the human mind. And you don't need microphone to address your audience. This is going to be great and mind blowing. Ben,
Correct.
congratulations in advance. I love you. I love you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.